Hi, it's Maria. Yesterday, I happened to mention that I had a skincare company, an organic skincare company from the late 90s, 1998, I think, until 2008. And I didn't even mention the name. It was called Laser Garden. And many of you might have even purchased something from there. I had 42 different products, and it was really wonderful. It was like my baby. It was I had distributors from all over the world, from South Africa and Asia and Australia and many European countries, and because it was a team of 5 holistic physicians, and I used laser light therapy. I had herbs from all over the world. Everything was organic, certified organic, and there were essential oils and antioxidants and flower essences, and there was the light therapy. And I had a holistic psychiatrist who actually matched the therapeutic value of the flower essences with whatever condition or whatever someone was suffering from. And that could also relate to skin issues as well. And so, or it could have just been an emotional issue, you know? So whether they were to give you more energy, or whether it was to calm you down, or whether it was for whatever issue you might have had, whether it was psoriasis or just acne, or just wrinkles, or just for a more youthful appearance. Anyway, I just had such a great time putting together that company, and then all of a sudden, it was gone, like everything else. But that's okay, because it wasn't even a moneymaker. I was actually donating so many of the creams and things, because the quality was so high that I really couldn't charge what they were really worth. I didn't think that was fair to do to people, because I wanted them to benefit from these wonderful products. And so I know when it closed, people called me and they said, well, now what are we going to use? And what are you going to use? And what I told them is I was just going to use organic extra virgin olive oil. And that is what I use. But in any event, after that, because I know people are wondering, like, well, it's been so many years. How come, you don't have a job or whatever? But I did have that company for 10 years. And then I actually was in Arizona, and I was walking by in front of this grocery store, and it said customer service position was available. And I thought, oh, well, I'll just go in there and see what they have to say. And so anyway, I was hired, but they said, well, you have to kind of learn the machines, or you know, uh, how to process the sales and things like that, because you have to know everything. So I learned about flowers, and then I learned about the computers, and so at one point I was doing the checkout with the computers, the self-serve, so the self-serve. And one day there was this man that came up to me, and he had this chicken, and he's like, I don't want this chicken. I think it smells, and it's awful, and it's disgusting, and I want my money back right now. And I said, well, that's great. I'm really sorry about if there's a problem with the product, but you have to go to customer service, and they will refund you the price of the chicken or whatever you paid for it. And so he's like, no, I want it now, and you're being rude, and I'm going to call the manager of the store, and then I'm going to call the supervisor of all of the stores, and I'm going to get you fired, and blah, blah, blah. And I just sat there thinking, oh yeah, well, this is my family. They hired him. He's here to just kind of throw me off. And so anyway, that was exactly the situation I had with virtually every job I tried to get, because there was always some paid setup that was just trying to sabotage me. And uh, it's just the way it was. And it's not a matter of being paranoid. It's just a matter of, I know they thought it was funny. And I think the reason they thought it was so funny is because when I was going through my divorce in Chicago, uh, his attorneys, my ex-husband's attorneys, tried to label me as a public figure. And you might say, oh, well, I want to be a celebrity too, But no, 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 because there's a really dark side to it. Because what happens is, what they say is the attorneys then conceal the files. And so they hide their crimes and my ex-husband's crimes, and they hide the truth. And because they say, well, you're a public figure, so you have a reputation to uphold. And they said that to my ex too. And so, you're some kind of a big shot. And he thought, oh, this is wonderful. But then at the same time, they say, well, if you are a public figure, you have no expectation of privacy. So it's just assumed that you will be tracked and followed and monitored all the time, 24/7. And in fact, you know what? That is what happened. And it's been going on since yeah, I filed for divorce in 1996. And it finished in 2001 with like 30 or 40 different attorneys and millions of dollars in legal fees. And it was just ridiculous. But it was a big brouhaha, and everybody wanted in on the act. They thought it was they thought they could make a name for themselves, actually, if they could kind of latch on to our misery and our dysfunction in the war of, that movie, War of the Roses. Well, this was War of the Georges. But in any event, do you know what it's like to be stalked 24/7? Let me tell you, every time you have to use the commode, every time you have to blow your nose, every time you do anything, really, you're being watched. And it's really, it's such an invasion of privacy, and it hurts most of the time, because you just, it's an invasion of privacy, and you're followed everywhere you go. And it's not like they're even benevolent, because what happens is, if you go to a restaurant, they go and they give a vial to the chef, and that vial is some type of a toxic potion or some type of a chemical. And it's really to make you sick. And then after a restaurant meal, you're bloated, you have gas, you just feel so nauseous, and you have like this really yucky aftertaste in your mouth. And it's really, it's, on the one hand, it's good because they're bad people. So they're on camera. So what they're doing is being noted, is being seen. But it's bad because you have no privacy, and they endanger your life. And I don't think that all I don't know who they are. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't know if it's like the government, or if it's like just private investigators who are just hired by regular people, different companies. I really don't know who's been following me. I do know that everywhere I go, they go. And at times they endanger my life, and they destroy my health. Just like in the when I was hit by the Greyhound bus door that hit my face, and I ended up having a traumatic brain injury as a result of that. Well, that's not being followed because they want to know, oh, what a wonderful person you are, or what you do in your spare time, whether you read or jog or do Pilates or something like that. I mean, it can take a malevolent twist to it. And I so wanted to like talk to these people. So, because you end up kind of figuring out if they're behind you or if they're around you or something. And I really wanted to say, hey, you know what? I'm not a bad person, but why don't you tell me, what do you need? And why are you just, it's so oppressive. And it really made me very sad. And so it was like when I wasn't at the residence where I was, all of a sudden, they were given keys, or they can pick a lock as soon as you get there, because then they'll use it for the rest of the time they're there, and they go in. And I don't know if they take Roundup or some type of a poison, and then they dust a little here and the salt shaker and a little here and the pepper shaker and a little here and dusting, all these poisons to really make you sick. And so I don't really know who does that, and I don't know what I've done in order to make these people want to just not only watch me, but really try to sabotage my health. And so, when I was thinking, and yesterday when I told you about the victim to hero or the victim to victor, we have to see these blessings as challenges, because I think that there are more people that are affected by this than just me, believe me. And so I think that it really is, this is the state of our world, in every country. I think I love America. I don't think it's worse here than anywhere else. I think I have so many, I have so much hope for this country now. And so I think that we have to see the blessings in the challenges that mold us to be very strong and resilient human beings. And our goal, I mean, this is a dark planet. It was a planet of green and greed, right? And our goal is to bring light, to pave the path for others. And so there's a Greek philosopher who in the 100, I think it was 100 BC, his name was Epictetus. And I think I've said it right. And so what he said, I heard somebody call him Epictetus, but I don't know. I like Epictetus. But anyway, and his most favorite quote was, "The trials you encounter will introduce you to your strengths." And that's very true. And so everything that we experience is for our highest good. And so we have, this is why we're here. And we are aligning ourselves with the divine. And when things go awry, then we have to think about, where did we go off course with our Creator? And so everything is for our growth, and there's no skipping. You have to go through each challenge and overcome it, right? And then when you overcome it, I guess the angels or whatever, they put a check mark and they say, oh, she got through this, she got through this, she got through that. Yeah. Oh, she's going to have to repeat this one. And so anyway, and we know that life on planet Earth is difficult. And it's as difficult as we make it, actually, because few can handle it, right? If there are 40 million people on Prozac with their morning coffee, I'd say that's it's a pretty strong indicator that it's not easy to cope with a lot of the things that we are all bombarded with. And so we try to escape. So many people, yes, live their life trying to escape with the reality of their situation. And whether it's food or alcohol or drugs or gambling or sex or TV or porn. And we say, why me, God? Why me? And why me? Why was I cheated on? Why was I sabotaged? And it's not a matter. I mean, there's nothing personal, right? And so, there's nothing personal. Anyway, it's just a game. It's a game to evolve and to become better and higher versions of ourselves, right? And so when we can extend kindness and compassion and benevolence and goodness, then we can really kind of transform, and we can send this out into the world. And when we do that, then the world sends the goodness back to us, because it is an even exchange, really. There's karma. What we send out, we then receive, and that's a beautiful thing. And so even when I was telling you about some of the really ridiculous things that I've gone through, and that a lot of other people have gone through, they just maybe didn't quite understand that that's what it was. They probably just thought something's a little weird, but they didn't realize to what extent we are at the mercy of people who just want to um, just watch everything we do. Oh my gosh. And so, anyway, it's some people operate out of darkness, they operate out of insatiable greed and selfishness and arrogance and really and jealousy. And those are really negative traits. And so we need to surround ourselves by really with really positive people and people that can have overcome so much, so that then they can be better and they can be role models for us all to move forward in faith and to move forward knowing that what we put out comes back to us. And so I think that's a very, very important point, as is the people that we surround ourselves with. And that is really key, because their vibration will only, if they have a lower vibration than us, then it's going to bring our vibration down. And you know how they always say, you always want to be with someone who's a little better than us, a little smarter, a little nicer, a little this and a little that, just so that then you learn and then you elevate rather than being dragged down by somebody who's less than. And so, anyway, surround yourself with really positive, energetic, kind, loving, wonderful people who have your best interest at heart. And that's how we get through it. And so, anyway, I love you, and I will see you maybe again tomorrow. Thank you. Good night.